Hi everybody, this is Demari and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing the September 2019 read for the sign of Gemini. So I will be using the Celtic cross style layout using the Wild Online Tarot, and to clarify I'll be using the Intuitive Tarot. So let's just get stuck in, shall we, and see where you're currently at in life, Gemini. So what you got going on? Okay, you've got the Hanged Man in reverse. So I feel like you're trying to exercise a level of patience here within a certain circumstance, because you're feeling like if you make a move now, you're going to potentially jeopardize whatever circumstance. So you're just kind of hanging back and, waiting to see what's going to be the best play here. That's what I feel like in this circumstance, that you're waiting to see what's going to be the smart move. Okay, you're not charging in like maybe you were previously with something, but you're trying really hard to be patient. It's not coming easy to you, but you're trying because you need to assess what's taking place here. Yeah, you're juggling between what you want to do and what you think you should do, right? So you're kind of having this inner conflict between the two right now, I feel, but you're trying to exercise a level of patience in order to properly assess what's happening, okay? Take it as it resonates, if it resonates for you, okay? So what's in the position of the challenge? What's crossing you right now in regards to this? Okay, you have the Fool in reverse. So, yeah, you're finding it hard not to just go head first into the circumstance, because you're used to doing that. You're used to just going with your gut and just seeing what happens, right? But you feel like for whatever reason you can't do that right now, so you're trying really hard to compose yourself. I feel like this is like you trying to compose yourself and just contain all of what you're feeling is inside right now, and just wait and see what the next move is. Could be in relation to a person or just circumstances that are around you right now. You may have to wait for something to happen so you can move forward. So, I mean, what happened in the recent past then? What is it that you just came out of last month? Ooh. Okay. Oh, okay. So to me, this is definitely a person. With the Father of Swords, I feel like that was you. And then with the Two of Cups, obviously, I feel like that was some kind of relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be that this was a connection with a family member, or so you're trying to resolve some issues with the family member. It could be you're trying to resolve issues with a partner, potentially if you're married or you were in a long-term relationship. And yeah, I feel like you were being very direct, very forceful with what you wanted. You was the one that was initiating everything. But now you're kind of taking a step back and saying, okay, I'm going to see what this person does, because I'm the one that's been pushing and pushing and pushing. So I need to see what it is that this person wants, right? How we can move forward with this relationship, with this connection, whatever, okay? So just take it as it applies. Like I said, it doesn't have to be a relationship. I just feel like it could be because of that Two of Cups, but it could be a very strong family connection, like parent, on a parent level, or siblings, stuff like that. But I feel like for those who this is resonating with, I feel like for more of you, it will be a relationship. Okay, so let's have a look then in your near future. So what can you expect in the month of September, Gemini, in regards to this connection? Okay, so you got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like this connection is undergoing a big transformation, because there were certain things that just weren't working. It was just not happening. Like, you may have some distance right now because it's just you were butting heads for too long, or maybe you were being too forceful with your feelings and what you wanted, and you weren't taking into account what they needed. Or it could be that that you were just not seeing eye to eye on certain things, like, that are very important in regards to, you know, your principles or how you want the relationship to be. It's something on a significant level, so that's why you have that separation right now, or that lack of communication. So I feel like your relationship is currently undergoing a transformation with this person. It may come to an end completely, or it may just be going through a rebirth, okay? So let's have a look then in regards to your feelings. How do you feel about this situation, Gemini? Because I imagine this is kind of making you feel very impatient. That's the energy I get from this, that you're kind of impatient because this has been going on for some time. But at the same time, you're trying to remain composed, right? So what else are you feeling? Okay, you've got the Mother of Cups in the upright. So I feel like you are trying to nurture your own self-healing, self-love, giving that nurturing affection that you would have gave to this person to yourself right now. That's what I feel with this. But you still long to be with them, to be close to them. Yeah, that's what I feel. And you're just like, you see as well how a wing is like reaching out. I feel like that's how you feel right now, that you're longing to just pull them closer to you, right? To show them that love and affection that you've been wanting to give them. But you're kind of choosing to give it to yourself right now because you can't, right? You're trying to remain composed and wait to see what they want, because you can't extend that olive branch right now until you know what it is they want and how they feel about it. But I see that, I see longing, okay, from you, Gemini. Oh, that's sad. But, you know, it's good that you're giving yourself that tenderness and nurturing energy, because you need that, right? You need to heal as well. And that's probably what they're doing as well at the same time. They're probably trying to heal their own wounds from this circumstance too. So it's important that you both focus on your healing, and then you can see what this Ten of Pentacles will bring, right? So what's in the position of the advice then? What advice can we give you in relation to this, Gemini? Oh, Two of Wands. So I feel like you both want the same thing. I think you both long to have that divine connection, okay? I feel like you're both really seeing that clearly now. Like, that's all along, that's what I wanted. I wanted to be closer to you. I wanted to see eye to eye with you. I wanted to be able to communicate. I wanted to be able to show my feelings. I wanted to connect with you on the soul level. That's what I've been missing. That's what I'm lacking, right? And I feel like the other person feels that way as well. Like, you're both mirroring each other constantly right now. So that's where you need to realize that you both feel the same way, right? So that's good. That means that all hope isn't lost, right? If you both want the same thing. So, I mean, I will clarify that further, but I feel like that's what's happening, and that you need to be aware that you're both mirroring each other. You see how the two wands are like literally imitating each other, reflecting each other, and all this light around it, like the rainbow spectrum, yeah? That's you. You're like reflecting each other on a deep, profound level, like on a soul level, right? As well as the ego is as well. But you're both longing for that soul connection, I feel, with that. So what about in terms of external influences? I will be able to speak one day, I promise. Are there any external influences that could be affecting you at this time, or this connection? Okay, so you've got the Seven of Swords and the Judgment. So it could be that this person is traveling a lot at this time. So they're not able to communicate certain things to you because they literally are just not around to have a proper communication with you, because they don't feel like they can just do it on the internet or over the phone, right? There's certain things that need to be said face to face, so they can't do that right now. And it may be they're sitting on something in regards to this because they're wanting to also see what it is that you do, right? How you're going to react in this circumstance, because you're not available, because they're not available physically. They want to know how you're going to be at this time, if you can exercise that patience, if you can, give them the space that they need to do whatever work it is they're doing, or, the healing work. Maybe they're traveling to heal themselves, right? So maybe you have to give them that space to do that, and they're seeing if you're capable of doing that, or if you're going to charge in and try to butt heads with them again, because that will only push them further away, you see. But yeah, I feel like they're not around, okay, that they're elsewhere, and this is more you just sitting there waiting patiently to have that communication with them, yeah, because they're not here to have that with you right now. Yeah, I wonder if you're the other party, right? Just to explain something, because this is kind of ringing about. I did a read just now for the sign of Taurus in regards to a love triangle situation. I'm not putting it on you, this may not be relevant at all, but I'm just saying, with this travel and not really being sure and this disconnect, and because you are represented as the Father of Swords, which was one of the parties in the other read, I am wondering if you are a part of this love triangle between a potential Capricorn and maybe a water sign, potentially a Cancer, right? But it might not be. Just take it if that resonates. If you are dealing with a Capricorn or a Cancer, there could be a love triangle situation going on right now. But that's not going to be for all of you. That's going to be for a very specific few of you, okay? So just be aware that could be going on, that because things didn't go so well, and you're in this time of separation, they may have had, while they were traveling, someone caught their eye and their attention. So they may have had, not that anything happened from what I saw, but just this other person is showing a tremendous amount of interest in them, and they're weighing it up like, well, I didn't get this level of interest or this level of respect or affection from this person, so why am I even waiting for that to happen, right? So if that does apply to you, be very careful in this time, because they are getting some real attention from this other person. I mean, this person is willing to chase them across the world to make it happen, okay? So if that does resonate, you need to be aware of that. But that's only if you're dealing with, I think, either a Capricorn or a Cancer, okay? But not necessarily. But for others of you, it won't be a love triangle situation. Like I said, I think that's for a very few specific people. But for others of you, I feel like you're just having a bit of a separation right now, or you may have split up already, and they're just traveling for work or just to heal themselves, to clear their heads. Maybe they're going on a group trip, because I see this, obviously with the Seven of Swords, there's several swords together and there's just one just sat there waiting, and I feel like that's you. Just to show you, I feel like this is you, and they could be potentially traveling in a group situation, or going to events in a group setting, right? So it could be for work, or they're just going out with some friends, but I feel like they're away from you at this time, and you're just waiting to see what happens, okay? But then you've got the Judgment as well. So I feel like, yeah, depending on how you go about this circumstance with this person, and how they react as well, but that's going to have a very specific outcome, okay? I don't feel at this time that the connection is completely dead. I don't think it's beyond all hope. I really don't. I'm not seeing that here. But it's important to be aware that your actions will have consequences, right? Here with the Judgment. So you need to be very aware of everything you do and say, and that you don't allow this sharp tongue of yours to come out whenever you're feeling flustered or impatient, because that will only aggravate the situation further, okay? So it's really important that you're aware of that. You have to watch what you say at this time and how you act, because I feel like it isn't completely done yet. That's how I feel, right? So this person may be trying to take a breather. It could be that you're dealing with a Scorpio. I feel like for a couple of you, you could be dealing with a Scorpio, because in Scorpio's reading, they were very back and forward about a connection with someone. And I swear they had the Father of Swords as well. So for some of you, you'll be dealing with a Scorpio who's very much still in love with you, but yeah, they're just really hurt at the moment. They're healing a lot of wounds. They're trying to take time to figure out what they want. They're really having to start a self-love journey, because they felt powerless in this relationship for a long time. So if it is a Scorpio that you're dealing with, you've got to be aware that your forcefulness made them feel like they had no power, right? So they're having to rediscover that again. So you have to give them the time to do that work, okay? Because they need to discover their inner power. They need to connect with their highest self, okay? This is them right now. They are the Daughter of Cups in reverse, right? They're sitting in that energy of the Page of Cups in reverse. So they're starting this new journey of self-love. So you have to give them the time to do that, okay? It's very important for their state of mind and for their emotional well-being. Okay, so let's go in now in regards to your hopes and fears, right? I swear you've got everything in the world coming out. Okay, so I will say that's your hopes and this is your fears. So you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Justice, right? So you're hoping that by exercising this caution, this patience, by trying to demonstrate how serious you are about trying to fix this lost connection, that you'll be able to manifest this connection back into your life, that you'll be able to be together again, okay? That's what you're hoping that the outcome will be. By trying to do the right thing and be the example, the shining example of someone who's worthy of their attention and their love, you will get that. That's what I'm seeing in your highest hopes, that you really want to make this work, right? But in your fears, you have the Moon and the Five of Cups. So you're afraid that you're going to learn that they no longer want to be with you, or you're going to learn that there's maybe someone else, or you're going to learn that they're just not the same person anymore, that they've changed during this time apart, that they no longer feel the same way about you. And you're terrified of that. That's what you're afraid of coming to learn, right? That if you do have this connection with them again, or sorry, not this connection, but this communication with them, that you're going to learn that they don't actually want to make it work, that they don't want to be together anymore with you. But that's not necessarily the case. Like I said, if you're dealing with a Scorpio, they do still want that, and that's why they're stuck in this energy, but they have to do the work first. If you're dealing with a Capricorn or a Cancer, or a water sign, then there is potential, but you know, they need to really address what it is that they're looking for, okay? And really communicate with you as well about all that's been transpiring once they're in a position where they feel ready to do so. But that just depends. But they need to address certain things within themselves also. But you also got the Five of Cups in reverse. So I feel like this is you right now. Like you're just, the well is running dry, you know, the cups are empty. It's all been spilt, right? All the milk is already spilt, right? You are this poor horse, right? This is how sad he is in the upper. Upside down, it's just like he doesn't even know where he is anymore, right? Then you've gone past the stage of sadness and anger and all of that. that you just feel defeated and completely hopeless in the circumstance, and you're terrified that this revelation is going to come out, and you're just going to be like, oh my God, this is the end, right? That's what you're really worried about. But that's not necessarily the case. Like I said, there's nothing here that tells me that's set in stone. So even if you are in that love triangle with either a Capricorn or a water sign, it's not all necessarily lost, but you have to have a very open, frank communication with them, a discussion, a talk about the fact that, you know, you made them essentially feel like, from their point of view, that they wasn't worth the time, the attention, affection, you know, that you didn't see their highest aspects, right? And that you kind of stripped them of their power a little bit. Same sort of thing with the Scorpio, but more so to do with their power, I think, than how attractive they felt. Because I feel like with the water signs and the Capricorn, it was more to do with not making them feel like desired, right? Whereas with the Scorpio, I feel it was more about the power play, the power dynamic in the relationship was all wrong, okay? So just take it as it resonates, okay, if it does. And then finally, what I want to look at is the overall outcome for the month. Because I know this is quite a lot of heavy energy to deal with, especially because this situation hasn't come to a resolve yet. There's no closure at this time for you, I'm sorry. But maybe there will be. Let's have a look. Okay, so you've got the Flower of Cups, which is really interesting. That's the King of Cups. So something's going to happen. Let me see if I can get another card in regards to that, because something's going to bring you full circle. Like, there's going to be some significant healing there. It's something that's going to make you feel very, like your cup is full. So maybe you will have this communication with them, and maybe you'll find a way to work on things. You know, it comes down to a decision, but I feel like it's a decision you make together. Let's see if I can clarify that further. It's going to bring the best resolution to the situation, and you're quite happy with that. What's that? The six of wands in reverse. So I feel like there's going to be a compromise here. Yeah, there's going to be a compromise. You've got the Ace of Swords as well. So I feel like there is going to be this strong communication that's going to come in, and I think you're both going to be very open and very frank about your emotions. All of the things that you've been keeping hidden from each other is going to come to the surface. And you're basically, I feel like you're going to proclaim your love for each other. And then you're going to come to some kind of resolution, finally. There's going to be some kind of resolve, right? It's not that everything's going to be magic, like it's not. Everything's not going to be just magically healed and fine. You still have a lot of work to do. But I think you're going to be very happy with the overall outcome. So finally, it looks like you may actually get the closure that you're looking for, and it's going to be a happy one for you. So as I was saying, I didn't see that this situation was done, so I think that they may want to give it another go, okay? I can't say for definite. It's going to be different for different people, but from what I can see here, it looks like they're not willing to give up on it, okay? So either way, I wish you all the best, Gemini. I mean, it's the last couple of months have been crazy for you, I know, but this is the final hurdle, I feel, in regards to this specific situation, and then obviously you'll be entering a new one. by the end of September. So I wish you all the best with it. I look forward to doing your next reading and see how this goes. And yeah, if you found this relevant, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And I will share with you another reading very soon. So take care for now.